Good day. I hope this finds you well. Today I would like us to talk about stationery and all things storage or ideas of how to store your books and stationery, whether recreational or even their own study books. It can be yours, it can be your child's, it can be your nephew or nieces, generally the children around you. So as you can see, I have items on my bookshelf, and I would just like to take you through how some different ideas of how to store items within the house. So yes, children sometimes lose things. Yes, you're wondering how come children are not tidy, but they observe from the environment that they are in, and then they pick up the habits. So for today, this is just so I can get this off. For now, this is just powder pens. I bought them in quite a lot of amounts in different colors. I like the colors, but unfortunately, this is not for long-term use. It can be used for, I think, face painting or something, but once it dries off, it flakes off. It's not flakes off. Like when you touch whatever you've painted, you find the color purple or blue. So it's a 50-50 on that. Why I put this here is because, as you can see, you don't have to buy or Google or do that once you've bought crayons. Nowadays it seems like books or even any other learning material is coming with some tips. This one says how to draw a bird, so you'll have killed two birds with one stone, technically speaking, if you buy crayons for your child and they love drawing, so they can try that out. So I have this food container, but mainly I don't this will go up so that I can bring this. If you realize that your crayons are either breaking in pieces or they seem not to be storage wise, if you want them to be in one compact place, I find that this food container, it's quite cheap. I believe this was 40 shillings. So you keep them here, even when if they're in the car, if you know you're going to for a long distance travel, or they'll be somewhere where they'll be quite bored after some time. Why not have this? And then you can also have either some blank paper or some coloring books or coloring paper, and then you can just this portable in the car, in your purse. It can be a smaller size, and you keep your child busy. They don't have to fuss also getting your attention. So basically, tip, this is, I hope you can pick on that. If this doesn't work, this can be for portability. Another idea is, if we go down here, I open this, we have the glue sticks. You have the food containers, so you can have the glue sticks or pencils if they can fit, crayons also in this, and I believe the lower one I put a pair of scissors. Interesting fact, you can let your little toddlers, like, give them from once they go to school. When it comes to the scissors, this is nice. And a little trick I came across is, I didn't do it, but if you want your child to know how they're supposed to be holding the pair of scissors, you draw a smiley face on their thumb, and they'll always know that when they're cutting the scissors, when they're using the scissors, the thumb is always up. So that's another way of storage. You can put your pair of scissors, you can put your glue sticks in food containers. So yes, you have either this, and this is nice in that you can stack them. Try as much as possible to get rectangular or square ones, because then you create more space. But if it was just circular, then you see to occupy just one. So as you can see, this was 55 shillings. And still another tip, you have your rubbers, you have your sharpener still in a food container, and goes on. If food containers might be on the higher side, or you don't have that money, why not recycle? So you have this, yes, you enjoy your ice cream, and then have the pencils, have your highlighters, have your biros, have your pair of scissors, have your ruler. Tip, I would encourage parents, kindly let your little ones not use the biro when they are learning how to write. For those who can remember way back when, and yes, it is way back when, wazee hukumbuka, we did not start out using biros. We started out with pencils. There's a reason. With biros, it slides across the paper or along the paper, whatever the context is. But with pencils, you have to be intentional with it when you're writing, because then, so start off with pencils. Let you have as many pencils in your house more than biros. Keep your biros away. And if you notice, they always want to use your biro because yes, that's what you're using and that kind of thing. But if you want to help your child's handwriting to improve, one, always let them practice with pencils. Then they'll graduate. Remember, we started with pencils, then we went with fountain pens, and then we moved to biros. If you notice nowadays, if you don't write too often and you use your laptop too quite often, or the computer, you're mainly typing and not writing, the day you need to write, then your fingers, it's like your joints have retired and they need to be reminded of something. So what you do is always start with a pencil for the children. When they learn about the grasp and the fine motor skills for their hands, then gradually their handwriting improves. And by the time you're using a biro, even if you notice how you write in your lecture notes or in your normal notes, you just slide the pen across and it writes. So start with a pencil, and then always have crayons. Crayons are inexpensive. Even though they break into two, they can still color. So yes, it just goes on. Paint is another story for another day. So you have food container, you have recycled containers, ice cream or whatever container it may be. It might be the different food container. For me, I have you remember the previous video I showed you, I have a succulent. I have succulents in my house, trying to be all green in this concrete jungle. So what you can have is the flower vase. It's just a container. And why I put this here, as I said, coloring pencils is very good to have. This is called sticky tack, which I'll explain maybe when I used it in a different way. But you can still have this was a bookmark I received from all the books I bought. Then you also have your paints and you have your brushes. So still you're containing all the stationery in one area. So as you can see, I'm hoping you've gotten the tips. Now I would like to move down. Yes, you have books. As I encourage you, don't worry, it's not all about being clean and being tidy, but I would just like to allow me to move to this angle that you may have it in perspective. So this, I mentioned I have bookcases. I have two. Yes, it may be expensive. Yes, space-wise, you may not have room for you to put a bookcase, but that should not be an excuse for you not to have a storage area for your books. So what I have here, I decorated it, but you can keep it as plain as possible, is a carton. Carton, you just secure the edges, and then you just decide where do you want the measurements and the rest. So what you do is you just have this, and then you cut. Preferably, if the child is old, then they can do it by themselves. If they're younger, you do it for them while they observe, and not you just doing it. Let them have some responsibility also. So what I've done is you just cut. You can use your exact measurements. I'm not here for craft or anything. No, it's not a craft tutorial. I apologize for that. But this will give you some storage area, and as you have here, so it's just a basic carton, and you'll have your different books. So you have your exercise books. We have National Geographic. I believe some of us are familiar with it. And then, as you can see, you can store as many books, whether it's for the older ones, the older boys, older girls. Yes, as the books, as always, gravity is my friend. And then we have that, and you can also have folders or files. You can still have the book, and you can have the puzzles. So what have you done? If the child ever says they're bored or they don't have a place to do, you can have this as a fun activity for them to do. Let them go get the books, and then they can do that. They can even put their stationery, their stationery in here, and it's all in one place. And then you just move it, they clean, and then you return it, and your books are safe and secure. So recycle the boxes, recycle the boxes. Now here we have, yes, I'm not selling this, but still you can decide. If you're not decorating, it's not a must for you to follow all the YouTube videos that you see for decorating. Yes, time may not be on your side. Another thing is that you may not be all that crafty, but a child can try. So what you do is you have your box, you have emptied, you have used, you put the utensil or the equipment where it needs to be. So what do? You put your books. And trouble with money, that's about financial literacy for the children, informal, that is communicated to them through the book. So you have this, and if they want to put them at the corner, you just put this so they can decorate as we did with this. And there we go. So you have storage for your books. Recycling, recycling, recycling. Yes, you have your water dispenser. That's a whole different story about the blocks. Don't worry about that. That's my lane when it comes to items. I get ideas and I put them away for different days. And then you have your stuffed toys. As you can see, the Smurf is there, and also all that. So you can just cut and then secure this part, this with masking tape. I'm not about perfection when it comes to this. It is about efficiency. So in this case, so that it doesn't have any sharp edges. But this is just an idea, it's not a must. So instead of just throwing out, especially these disposable water dispenser bottles, you can have that. So ladies and gentlemen, I just had that for today. Oh yeah, you can also have your Bible and anything else. So if you have any questions, you can ask. But those are the tips that I have when it comes to storage. Just see what you can do. If the child realizes that they can put them in one area, then why not? It will be tidy. They will not be like, mom, where is everything? They will know where it is. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, if you have any questions, don't fail to reach out to Parenting Conundrums by Faith Motegi. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.